Zombies have quite a history, but is the latest zombie adventure, Left 4 Dead, up to spec? Well, here's my review.
Zombies. Zombies are cool, right? They used to be, at least. John Romero's Dawn of the Dead was a masterful piece of work that launched zombies into the Horror Hall of Fame. 28 Days Later revolutionized the undead idea with zombies that knew how to move faster than 2 miles an hour. Zombie games, however, are a mixed bag. Some of them I really like, such as Dead Rising. But it seems that with every PC game that comes out, someone makes a zombie mod for it, and these are never very fun in my opinion. Valve aims to change that as they have now released the long-awaited Left 4 Dead, a co-op zombie shooter that follows the 28 Days Later trend of running zombies. But it's not just a ripoff. It introduces new aspects to zombies that I've never seen before. Boss zombies. Special zombies with different abilities to break up the monotony of hordes and hordes of mindless brain scratchers. Each boss zombie even has its own sound, and some have their own music, so you sometimes know when one is coming. You've got the Boomer, who's very fat and explodes when hit, but if he vomits on you, it'll attract 1 billion zombies to your location. The Smoker, who has a long tongue that can drag away parts of your team. The Hunter, who can jump great distances and pounce on a survivor to start clawing at his vitals. The Tank, who is extremely powerful and tough. You'll need your entire team to take this bad boy down. And lastly, the Witch. You'll usually see her before she sees you, which means that it's often possible to sneak around. But if you alert her, she'll take you down in one hit. The constant threat that one of these boss zombies might be around the next corner successfully forces your team to become more coordinated. But the best part, the game lets you play as these boss zombies. More on that later. Let's start with the graphics. There's only so much you can do with textures, as you're not really paying attention to how nice that brick wall looks when you're trying to pick zombies' heads off with the shotgun. What really matters in a game like this is the animation, which is done masterfully well. When zombies don't see you, they are slowly shuffling around, reminding you of Dawn of the Dead, your classic zombie. But when they see you, the transition from shuffling to sprinting right at you is almost terrifying when you first see it. It's not a controlled run either, it's a mad dash, an uncoordinated blitz, each zombie trying to be the first to claw at your flesh. I know it might sound weird for me to be talking about what it looks like when they run, but understand that this is a testament to just how damn good it looks. When a tank is beating down one of your buddies and you ignite him with a Molotov, your bravery might just turn to panic the moment he turns his attention towards you, charges, and knocks you clear across the room into another crowd of zombies. The visual style of this game is similar to many other games, but none of those other games have done it so well. There really isn't much of a story to speak of due to this being a multiplayer-focused game. It isn't even explained what caused the infection, just that it happened. What story there is has been intentionally cliched to a crisp. Each of the 4 campaigns in the game have been made into a movie of sorts. All 4 movies follow the 4 unluckiest souls around us. No matter how they got rescued at the end of the last campaign, they always seem to end up in a zombie-filled predicament again. You've got the horror movie character staples, the grizzled war veteran, the badass biker, the college princess, and the white-collar black guy. That sounds a lot more racist when you say it out loud, doesn't it? All these characters will spout cliched lines throughout the campaign. However, there are lines that really do help your team. For instance, if one team member is following another around trying to heal him, the team member will eventually say, "Stand still, I gotta heal you." Whenever you reload, your character will shout, "Reloading." All of this adds up to provide the player with more awareness of what their team is doing. The actual shooting of the game is pretty standard. I understand that on the 360 there is a spin 180 degrees button. I can imagine that being helpful since you're constantly being bombarded by the undead from all sides. But after playing the demo on the 360, then the full game on the PC, I have to say that, like most Valve games, it plays better with a keyboard and mouse. The choice of weapons is limited, but I never really found myself wanting more options. Your starting weapons are pretty bare bones, a pump shotgun or an Uzi, but eventually you'll pick up better weapons such as a sniper rifle, an M16, and a semi-automatic shotgun. I might have been miffed at the lack of weapons if the ones they gave you didn't cover every possible situation. There are other items to pick up too. First aid kits, which restore 80% of your health, pills that give a 50% boost that drains away over time, pipe bombs with a beep that attracts zombies to it, and you shouldn't need me to tell you what a Molotov cocktail does. When used in coordination with your team and at the right moments, these items will save your life on countless occasions. It's obvious from the start that the game is focused on co-op. You can play single player and the bots are more intelligent than your average buddy AI, but it's still impossible to coordinate with them. Online play is definitely where it's at, and I have to beg anyone considering buying this game to please play it with a headset. There is quick commands and text chat, but it doesn't beat actually talking with one another. Online play is silky smooth. I haven't encountered a bit of lag in my entire time playing, which is something worthy of huge props in a shooter. When most people hear about the fact that there are only 4 levels, each taking about an hour to complete, they usually decide that it's too short. This could not be farther from the truth. There is so much replay value here brought on by a new AI system called the Director. There isn't much intelligence in the AI zombies to speak of, but there is one master AI that decides where zombies spawn, where you get health and ammo, and how often the boss zombies spawn. All of this is judged by how good you're doing. If you think you're doing well, turn a corner and find a tank and a hunter waiting for you. If you've died several times and are having trouble completing a segment, the Director might spawn less zombies or better health and weapons sooner. This means that every time you play through the campaign, it is completely different from the last time you played, and the difficulty remains consistent, even if your team is full of morons. There's another mode I haven't mentioned yet. Versus. This is the best idea for a game mode I have seen since Meat Flag from Gears of War 2. You still have your 4 players playing the survivors, and then you have 4 other players playing the boss zombies. I will warn you, Versus takes some growing into. At first, playing as the zombies feels cheap, as they are pretty easy to kill, and you have to wait 30 seconds to respawn every time. But once you get used to how different the zombies play, and start coordinating with your team, it gets easier and much more fun. For instance, if my buddy is a tank and I am a smoker, we'll talk a bit and hatch a plan. One of the best ways to kill a tank is to light him on fire and keep shooting. So my buddy charges in like a moron and I hang back. The survivors light him on fire with a Molotov, which in turn lights a good portion of the ground ablaze too. So what do? I latch onto one of the survivors with my tongue and I drag him through the fire that he just laid down. It's moments like these that make you realize this is the very definition of genius. I could go on and on about the little things that make this game great, like how if you need to take a break, you can let the AI take over your character, then take control again when you come back. But that would just be wasting breath, really. All you need to know is that Left 4 Dead is one of the best games to come out all year. If you don't like zombie games, Left 4 Dead will change your mind, and you'll be playing it for months to come. I'm almost afraid to give this game this score because I feel like it should be a rarity, and I gave this score out only a couple months ago, but I'm giving Left 4 Dead for PC an A+. If you don't have a PC that could run this or an Xbox 360, go out, buy one, and then get Left 4 Dead.
Next week on The Perspective, I've got my review of Lionhead's Fable 2. This and much more on the Sharp and Pointy Perspective.